So, another breakfast session. And I was mentally preparing for this one for a few days. However, I know that that is just absolutely what a waste of energy. Um, Kind of been a shaky 24 hours. We are in a void right now, so I don't do well in those. Like, I am looking for that energy. I'm looking for the moon to hug me, to hold me, to hide me. And that's not what is allowed right now. So I have to embrace my feminine energy. But here is where it lines up to what I kind of wanted to shift into was confidence wouldn't have spoken this way. And I know that through a masculine doing energy, I'm extremely confident. I can have conversations that some people just can't hold in. It's not to say that I empower it that way. It's just I envelope an archetype or a personality that allows me to hold space, but hold it in a way that doesn't rob the client of their feelings, right? That's a big deal for me as I see those headlights go behind your head. And so right now, embracing the feminine energy, I'll admit, still, it's a struggle for me because feminine energy was scary as F. So how are you doing?
A lot better.
So how does confidence speak through you?
It actually comes on quite loudly. Like if I kind of reflect back on the last few weeks, it comes in quite loudly. It's just, am I listening? Talk about the power of you and your presence. It's like, am I being present to listen, to become aware of whatever I'm needing, like in that moment through an experience. So it really is there, and it, like I said, it comes in loudly. It's just how much do I hide from it with pushing it aside. I go into that overthinking. Just like trust is one of those huge things. Oh, can I trust this? Where if I just go with the first, like, that first thought, that first feeling, first thing that comes up, that is the confidence. It's just like, yeah, can I be that confident? Can I just go with this, or do I need to hide and let's get out of this? So if I reflect back on just, dealing with anxiety for these last few weeks, it's like that really was confidence showing up to say, "Hey, let's embrace what's happening." And I kept pushing against it.
Ooh, pushing against the feeling.
Yeah,
Right. So the power of presence and the emotional awareness is possible, but only through healing, feeling safe enough to embrace that. And that takes time and a process. So
for
confidence,
sure.
right? Confidence wouldn't have spoken that way. And so when I look back at the times where my anxiety, my overthinking, my fear of change, my lack of self esteem, my lack of confidence, right, showed up in the exchange between myself and other humans, I can look back and say to myself, confidence wouldn't have spoken that way. Protection was barking, begging, and pleading to be heard. And so when you can create that much space inside of yourself to witness, to observe the anxiety, the doubt, I can see little bubbles popping up over my head filled with
Yeah.
all those things of the past that would have made those choices for me, that would have ran the show instead of me being able to stay present enough with myself to make that conscious choice, yes or no. And to me, they're never right or wrong now that I understand that. It's just an experience that I'm moving through. And sometimes these experiences are extremely filled with emotion, making decisions, making choices. So now confidence speaks through me in a different language. which, I think everyone can relate to some degree. When you learn a new skill, you learn a new habit, you learn a
Yeah.
new way of showing up, right?
Yeah.
But it's to put that into practice. So when I think about the reason for continuing conversations, continuing sessions, engaging in relationships that only are, and this isn't to say that other conversations aren't worthy or other interactions, it's just where is my energy and my focus taking me today? How am I creating the life that I want to feel good in, right?
Yeah.
Right. So I pride myself in embracing as much emotional awareness about me as possible. Because at the end of the day, your emotional response is your responsibility. How you react and respond to everyday experiences is yours.
Yeah.
Becoming the ritualized practice of life is you. I know, that sounds like so selfish, eh? But this is the way I can have a say in the lens of my perspective. I can hear my voice.
That's right.
I can see my thunder. I can see
Yeah.
the experience I create for women.
Mm-hmm.
So I just came off a really big weekend. I'm not gonna, negate that. It's Thursday. It's been a few days, but the experience exchanged between women in a safe environment, a safe space, a safe community, a safe exchange. Like to be able to witness their fractal, where they find themselves. Okay, number one, I just love the fact that you just drink coffee. Just gonna say, right? Because this is life.
Yeah.
Sometimes people are probably looking at you like, why is she in a van every time? Like, does this poor woman not have a home?
It's just full.
Right?
It's
Yeah,
full of
right?
life.
It's full of life. And that's perfect. And that's what I want to see. And that's what I want to create. And that's what I want to be a part of is life.
Yeah.
Right? Even though I have great memories of the past, but I want them closer together. And I want them more frequent. And I want them to be in alignment with who I am today. The real me, right? The values, the beliefs, the life I'm trying to create and hold and experience in the wholesome, perfect way that I can be instead of hiding from myself all the time. Like when I witness what took place in my mind, replay the memory of the experience on the weekend, teaching women how to embrace their energetics, their chakra system, understand the interweaving intrinsic connection between energy and emotions in the human body and the higher self. I know for a fact them being able to embrace that knowledge allowed them to step further into their healing journey and become emotionally more aware of why they're feeling the way they are in this breath, why they may have been resistant to some of this change, why is anxiety showing up in their experience of life, right? It's a response to what is happening. It's a response to what is happening. And then, add astrology news and, bring all that juiciness into the experience so that we can understand how the planets interact with these chakras and how the emotions are affected by all these moving parts, much like your house, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? Pardon me. So we moved a lot of grief this weekend, to be honest with you. And I know that the back side of me, like my back, right across the middle, still a little tender. Our body keeps the score, remember?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Can't remember your name off the top of my head, so I apologize, but I love your book.
Yeah.
In fact, I referenced it quite frequent on the weekend because the more I can continually give you the information that your body needs, maybe, I know, we only take in 7% of what I say. Like, I get that. Maybe you'll draw on that in that moment where safety is concerned. Where do I get to feel this or not? Oh, I'm feeling pretty fly today. Ooh, maybe I'll step into the action of life. I love myself so much. Maybe I'll share that with the world. And we just keep bridging the chakras and the energy and the emotion so that what? We'll be our best self. We'll be our best self and we'll like that person. I actually admitted that this weekend. I said, I actually like me. I'm 50. That took a long time. Not to, give it a number so that others out there think, oh my, I'm more than 50 and I'm not there yet. It's all a journey. It's all a journey.
I had that from like watching the recordings of us
Oh,
because
wow.
I never actually like I never you're never watching yourself. Like I'm not on that platform where I'm posting videos watching myself talking and just reflecting on these last few videos. I was actually like, wow. I'm like I actually really like you. And
Oh,
it took
great.
it took seeing myself on a video, actually hearing what I'm saying. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Like I valued myself so much more
Welcome.
from watching them.
What a nice mirror reflection.
Yeah. Yeah.
Embracing that shine. Because
Yeah.
here's two souls mirroring each other through the lens of a perspective that we've worked hard to get to.
Yeah. Yeah,
Honoring
we have.
things, right? Because it's not that there isn't anyone else on this planet trying to strive and step into their light and do their best experience and expression of such. But when you can get to an awareness and be just like, oh, let's savor this moment.
Mhm.
I don't know. I struggle with that. I realized something yesterday. So I have my space. Everybody knows that. But there's an opportunity that knocked on the door. And so I'm like, oh, this is really, like, this is nice. This is a great idea. I should do this. This will uproot everything. This will change the dynamic of my experience moving forward today. If I said yes right here in this breath. However, so I took the opportunity to sit with the experience, have a chat, have a meeting, safety meeting as I always call them in my mind. And I walked away feeling, yeah, if I can make this happen, I can do this. I'm going to do this. I keep saying this. Got home last night from work, sat at the table and was like, okay, something's just not, I'm hesitant now. And I'm like, don't do this. You have worked hard for this. Don't do this. So then I said to myself, just go to bed and let your dreams talk to you. Let your dream tell you the story that you need or want or need to understand from a different perspective. So I get up this morning and I'm up at 4, you know that. And I'm getting the meditation ready for class at 7 a.m. It's live. It's like in today's world and time frames as best as I can express that, even though I kind of don't believe in all that. Do not make a decision today. Just let it sit like an elf on the shelf watching you. And that's where I'm at. And I said to myself, why? Because you normally just say yes and you start making things happen. I'm in a void. I can't make things happen right now. That's not the jam. But I never embrace the gift of what I've created. I never embrace the gift of what I've created because it was always taken away from me. So I never pause long enough to embrace the beauty of what I've just made because there's always either someone going to take this shiny object away from you because you don't deserve it all on your own, or you too scared to slow down and embrace that gift, that feeling of love, that feeling of what a beautiful experience. It's so soft and tender and all the things where I'm reaching for something bigger and better every time. Right? Because it's January 16th. I don't know. I'm going to share this. I've normally signed my ass up to some form of a chorus, buried in days of work again, and I not doing that. So I've got all this space, and we know I talked about this last time, nature vacuum, what was I feeling with that space? I can never sit long enough to enjoy the fruits of my labor.
Mhm.
Where's the value in that? Because I'm scared to value it. What if somebody takes it away?
Yeah.
And I did mention
Mm.
this at meditation last night that I'm going to probably record it. Hopefully. We'll see. We'll see how many permissions I have to get to make this conversation, do the whole conversation properly.
Mm.
Because I want to share, this is where I'm going with this now. Sorry, we're kind of all over the soup today, like
Yeah.
minestrone, beef barley, you can name it. Little lightness, you can feel that now. Thank you.
Mhm.
That's a shift. See, that didn't take too long. So I really need to slow down. So I'm not making a decision today, but we're going to jump over here now. And no, we're not. And just like that. Okay, so this generally happens between Katie and I from time to time. There's like, we just have this silent conversation, I feel, and it's, we're not going there right now. Okay.
Yeah.
And I had no idea where I was going.
Hmm.
And we love those moments, actually. I do.
Yeah. Well,
Because I know.
like talking about like space, it's
Yeah.
like I do the same thing, it's just like things can't be this calm and peaceful and easygoing and flowing. I notice that I'll try to like, it's only with myself, but I'm trying to like create that chaos to fill that space instead of like, actually, it's just okay if we're just doing this. It's okay if we're just taking it easy, resting, relaxing, because that was something that
Am I enough?
like that you could never do, right? It was always busy schedules, going, doing, a big thing that comes up with myself is it's just like if you're not doing something, then you're kind of labeled with that laziness. What are you doing with your life? And then those
Right.
conversations. So now it's like same with you. It's like, you have those moments where you're just like trying, like, let's just enjoy. Let's just enjoy where we're at right now. We don't need to bring the past and all the chaos with it and all these internal thoughts and chats of basically like bullying yourself, pushing yourself down instead of lifting yourself up. Like it's actually like it's quite all right just to do exactly what I'm doing.
Right. And have that inner dialogue conversation running.
Yeah.
Because while you were speaking so beautifully, I'm like, am I enough? Like, why do I keep asking that? And I'm thinking, who am I asking?
Mm-hmm.
And I know who's asking. Again, let's go back to the start. I mentioned being in this void. I don't do well with them. Am I enough? I'm asking that mother wound again. Why am I still packing you?
Yeah.
Why am I still packing you? What would confidence have me say? It would be okay to let you go.
Mm-hmm.
It would be okay to let you go. Release the hold you have on me because I'm the one that continually keeps placing that hold.
That's right. Yeah.
Right?
Mm.
This is an interesting twist. My grandma always served beef barley soup, by the way. Grandma Mary. Yeah, she did.
Mm.
So it's through the lens of our voice that we didn't have control of in the past that we're learning how to. And it always starts in the mind, right?
Yeah.
Like you're not, some of us may blurt it out randomly. That's a reaction. Because until you know better, you will continually go up against the, right?
Mm-hmm.
Conversation we're always in. And I did notice this as well. That, I used to say this, that little pause the whole world had to take a few years ago serves me well, but I don't know if it did now. I don't know if it did now because it sure got me into that cocoon. where the conversation I was having was online safety, right? Well, it was all we had, right? I'm not going to say
Yeah.
I created that because I certainly fucking didn't. But now that we're way past that, and now that I'm out in the world again, this is where you notice those wounds that maybe not were being poked because you were online, that you actually needed that in-person interaction, all the moving parts of a day around you to show you where there are still parts of you that get a little triggered within the experience of life,
Mm-hmm.
where I can see my confidence maybe feels like it's robbed of me, especially when I'm about to make a big decision. A big decision. So the decision part of it is where I question, am I enough? Yeah, that was great.
Hmm.
Now there's some chatter to work with. Why is there always a decision to make? Interesting. Yeah.
Hmm.
Right?
Right? Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
What?
That's good.
I know it is.
I'm like,
I'm letting it percolate as I drink, my coffee in the morning. Well, I've already had 2 cups. I'm going to see how I do. Today. I got to go swimming with Lainey again yesterday for a few.
hmm.
Yeah. And I said to her mama, I said, she's bored of the piece of her pool now because you took her to the West Edmonton pool. That thing is massive. This is like the most boring
Yeah.
play in now. Ellie couldn't stop laughing at me. So in order to get Lainey to giggle and have some fun, I was like taking the boat out of the water and smashing her. No, well, I don't say smashing, but making it feel like she was doing jumps like the waves at West Edmonton Mall. But yeah, so when I reflect to, it's in that space where you don't question the decisions you're making in the experience with her, right? That's why we pull her in. So how come, right? I don't know if we're going to answer this either. Why are we still doing this to ourselves? Still questioning each decision we make. Is it right? Is it wrong? Is it a yes? Is it a no? It's filling us with something to do, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can think of some.
Because, just thinking of it, if a person was to just like make a decision, or it's not even making a decision, it's just that flow of like, oh, yeah, on to the next thing, or, oh, yeah, yes or no, and move on, then it would be like, now what do I do?
Right?
Yeah.
So it's about filling your time with the things that feed you, serve you, support you, guide you. And sometimes, though, this indecisiveness does. Because today I refuse to make a decision on any level today. That's why I warned you, this might not make the air. This might not, right? Because I trust the guidance of Michael Lennox astrology very, very much. He is very, very bang on. And I just lay it over the top of my life and I just watch. And I like how he puts it into human perspective, like anything shiny today might not be tomorrow. Don't be walking around with scissors. Like, I mean, it's something you would normally instruct anyway, but the way he places it in an adult human, it's like, you know better. Come on. Right? So I know. And he's just quirky and fun and he says the F word a lot, so I kind of like it. And, so in this void, bringing this back, to his instruction as well, the chatter in the void with me. I can handle masculine conversations, right? I worked in the men's world, right? Always in service, always management level. Bringing the femininity into that was a struggle for me because I felt like it wasn't safe. And so now we're in a void and it's all about feminine, water, nourishment, kindness. And I buy and sell that all day long. But inside of me, the void becomes a real difficult place to be. because the feminine chatter in me is not always very nice to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about respecting all the work I've done to at least admit that outwardly. Why? Because other women might be like, what in the hell is she talking about this void for? I'm just so mean to myself every day. It has nothing to do whether the fucking moon is here or not, right?
Yeah.
But it kind of does. It kind of reverberates it, puts a great big spotlight on it. That's the perfect way. So it's putting a spotlight on the chatter that you and I may not always hear because of all the moving parts in a day.
Right.
And I got so used to the only moving part in my day was me and a enter button, that being back out in the world every day, seeing humanity at its experience and expression, moving through all that energy. Oh yeah, this last weekend taught me a lot. Taught me a lot.
Yeah.
So I'll borrow your statement. Am I listening? Why does it have to get so loud, right? For us
Yeah.
to, because we're being loud.
Yeah.
Right? We can't hear ourselves because of the mindless chatter that might, and it's not like that every day. Like we're not in a void every moment.
Mm-hmm.
Some days, yeah, it's not like I'm right back at it, feeling like every choice I've made is the right one. I'm, kicking ass and taking names. I'm doing great. And then the void comes in and this watery, feminine, milky, makes my knees weak and my hands shake kind of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me think you're losing the grip, you're losing touch in reality. It's not safe to be a female. And in all defense, I'm not saying that my mother wound is completely my mother. It's not. Like that's not fair to even say. But I watched how society treated women, and there were moments it absolutely wasn't safe to be a woman. No. So, again, that's what slipped my mind, and it's back now because this is the space it was supposed to be shared. Thank you. I want to record the last 2.5 months of my life in a conversation. And that's going to be invitation only. I will record it, and then I will decide if I will share it with the world or not. Because there's a lot of other people involved in this experience, and I do believe in the power of energy and how we're all connected in it. And so when I look at what you've moved through in the last 2.5 months, I look at another dear friend of mine, what she moved through in the last 2 months. She had a dream. I was in that dream. I want her in the conversation. Why? Because this last 2.5 months and all the moving parts showed me an opportunity to embrace that I am enough. I want to share that. If it lands well and it's expressed in a healthy way, I will. Well, okay. So just be expecting an invitation, okay? Right?
Wow.
So you are enough.
Yeah.
You just have to have a few more safety meetings, maybe with the mindless chatter that sometimes arrives.
Yeah.
Okay. So
It's like I noticed for myself, like not saying I catch it all the time, but when I do, it's having that conversation with myself. Why do we need to be talking to ourselves like this? What are you here for? Or sometimes it's a simple like you're like I don't need you right now, or just changing that conversation that's happening inside. And that has definitely shown me these last, again, couple of weeks with anxiety, like the amount of conversations I had with myself. It's like it would be here and it would be loud, and I would be talking myself through it. So, when you kind of, more at the beginning, you're kind of talking about like selfish to like look after ourselves, yada yada. It can be as simple as those sorts of things.
yes.
Like I'm gonna look after myself in this moment by like having a conversation with myself. And it's just like I know before, like I would think like you got to take yourself to the spa, or you got to go out to a restaurant. Like you have to have this actual like time away to look after yourself. And sometimes it's literally just looking after yourself in that moment.
With your breath, using
Yeah.
using the
Yeah.
tea, using the moment.
And I will say, like, complete transformation with my children these past couple of weeks as well, because they were watching me go through some of this.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't just, I'm a mom, I'm here, I'm going through stuff, and they actually watched me. And the tools they have picked up from actually watching me go through it, like, it's unreal how much they picked up on. Instead of just like me talking to them about these things, emotions, here's some tools how we can do it, they actually got to watch it, and they have actually used those tools themselves already.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was just like, holy man, because before I would be very, I wouldn't want to be public. I don't want people to see this, I
Right.
want to go into my own space, like nobody can see me going through whatever I'm going through. And this time around, it's just like, it's almost like I needed that level of experience that I had no choice, but it's happening right here. And
Allow,
it
allow
was it,
that level of awareness
yeah,
to be witnessed, felt,
yeah,
heard.
yeah,
I'm no longer hiding the pain of my emotion.
that's
Mommy
right.
does, mommy doesn't need to hide this,
No,
right?
it's
'Cause
just like, it goes back to like, it's okay to cry and it's okay for others to see you cry.
absolutely.
So, and again, like I mean, they've seen me, cry before, that sort of stuff, but this is a whole new level of like, they actually knew mommy doesn't feel good right now, but she's okay. So it was just, yeah, it was, I'm still just in awe of the whole experience.
The confidence of you
Hmm.
is beautiful.
Yeah.
So I myself cried. Like these fractal moments that we can move through when we witness our pain being alchemized, being evolved, being moved through. Anxiety doesn't hold
Hmm.
me anymore. I'm going to allow my femininity to wash over me today. I will not make a choice and a decision in my life today. I just need to be a girl today.
Hmm.
I just need to embrace my femininity while this experience moves through me because I am enough.
Yeah.
I am enough, right?
Yeah.
Okay, confidence does speak through me. I am confidence.
Hmm.
What a beautiful
I'm
breakfast. What?
I'm picturing like a tea party with like some cookies and party hats.
Oh, I could probably serve that up today. Don't be surprised if you get a little selfie. Little
Reading a good
party at the
story.
space, right? Okay, what
Yeah.
a beautiful breakfast session. I love you so much.
Yeah. Love you
Thank you
too.
for joining me. Thanks everyone for watching our little breakfast experience. It's always a pleasure to be among friends. Take care and enjoy.
Bye.